Okay, so this video is basically going to be just a roll-by commentary of how I do my VOD reviews to basically improve my aim. Yeah, seeing where my flaws are so I can improve them in Kovacs and see where my weaknesses are, my strengths are, basically where I need to improve. So we're going to be reviewing a bunch of COD clips today. These are usually my highlights. Usually you can go for your missed shots as well to see where your flaws are. But I like to see my highlights to see where my flaws are in my strength, if that makes sense. Where I'm strong but also make mistakes in that strength. So here's the first clip. Interesting. So you see my initial flick to that guy. It was pretty decent. It wasn't that hard of a flick either. The problem really comes with the flick upwards. So I flick upwards to him, and it sort of takes me a lot of shots to finish him off. The clip would have been a lot nicer if I, spent maybe 2 or 3 shots to headshot him or something like that. But instead I spend a lot of time sort of not really finding him. That could be a mistake of, sort of the game and clarity and stuff like that. But I like to blame yourself at first, always, to see where your mistakes are, or where you could improve, rather than blaming the game. I would personally say I could use some sort of smoothness with a small dot, like DTTV maybe here, maybe some form of air infantry, something like that, where I can really fine-tune my micro adjustments while aiming, which is while tracking, which is a problem for most people, including me. All right, next clip. Okay, the next clips were actually pretty nice, so we're gonna skip to the other clips. Well, this is a pretty basic one. This is a missed static shot or a missed pokeball shot, mainly. You see I basically hit very close to him. I mean, I adjust in time, but it takes me roughly 3 shots to adjust, which in my book isn't okay. I track him pretty well after I shoot him. That goes to show that sometimes your weaknesses aren't as apparent as you think. They're sort of just situational. But nevertheless, this is definitely a clear situation of my pokeball not being as strong, which is something I've been stopped working about lately. Here's a similar clip. That one's a little bit better. But you see I still flick above him, miss a couple of shots, but here I can been able to hit him within like 2 or 3 shots. Definitely a better clip, but not up to my standards. So here's a battlefield clip. You see that my transition was alright. I missed a couple of shots there, but the problem really was with the first guy. As you can see, I hit him nicely the first shots, and then I sort of lose track of him with my eyes, I believe. And my tracking sort of falls behind, and I sort of shoot at the wall instead of tracking him, which is clearly a smoothness issue. A lot of people say that's reactivity. I don't believe so, because reactivity is basically a fast moving twitching target. This is more me losing track of the target. I hit him eventually, and then I'm able to hit a decent transition to the other guy, who was kind of close either way, so it wasn't that hard of a shot. Alright, so I found a great example of something where you get the kill, but you still do a mistake. So basically what we're seeing here is that I'm getting the kill, which is fine, but it doesn't really look that great. I mean, it looks kind of like I'm just shooting all over the place. So what I think I did wrong here is basically, again, a smoothness issue, or more precisely a precision issue while tracking. So instead of adjusting my aim for like his head, his torso, something like that, and then keep tracking, I basically end up shooting at his legs instead, which makes the kill look really bad. Yeah, it's elevation and stuff like that, but definitely something like Smoothbot could help this, which I don't play a lot of. Something else I'm noticing is that I adjust very late. So I go up to his torso pretty late, which makes my aim just seem very random. So I'm shooting his legs and then the last shot is sort of at the torso. That sort of makes my aim look kind of amateurish. Meaning I should maybe focus on spotting or adjusting my aim before shooting, which has been a problem for me for fucking ever. Alright. Another example of you killing the guy, but it not being that clean, not looking that good basically. So we see the first guy, I hit him, it's a pretty normal shot, nothing special really. The second guy is, however, who I want to focus on. And here's why it looks bad. It looks bad because my aim isn't stable here. It's not like I flick and I hit the guy and then that's it. I flick and I move my mouse around a lot. I sort of have a little bit of shaky aim, although it's hard to tell. Basically, again, I think this is mainly a pokeball scenario thing. Man, I should really play more of that. I think it's my flicks not being on point. I don't think it's an issue of me having particularly shaky aim, which can come from like reactivity scenarios. Because if I would have had good pokeball there, I would have flicked the guy, and then I wouldn't have felt the need to adjust. But I was jumping midair as well, so I flicked, and obviously my body felt like you're kind of not on target, so it sort of adjusted for me, although it wasn't necessary, making the clip look worse. So if I would have just flicked, even if it was just to his torso, not to his head, the clip would have looked a lot better. Again, here I'm choosing another pokeball clip since I truthfully believe it's the most underrated and best scenario for all games. So you see my flick, I sort of flick and I hit the car rather than hitting the target, and then I adjust my aim, which is just because I've played a lot of static and that's like you missed and your body wants to adjust. It's just how quickly you can adjust. But if I would have had better pokeball, and specifically here wide wall pokeball, I would have hit that guy in a clean swoop and it would have been a lot more impressive flick. But stuff like this also comes down to how easy it is to spot him and stuff like that. You see it's a very small target. I mean, he sort of blends in with the car as well, so the shot naturally was kind of hard. I mean, was the name tag not there, it would have been even harder. So stuff like that is also circumstantial. Nonetheless, wide wall pokeball in this situation. Yeah, so I think it's pretty clear to see what's going on here. I mean, clearly a smoothness issue. I missed the absolute first shot, but hit the second, or even the third actually. So I missed the first shot and hit the third, and then I'm able to track him pretty fine. And then I overextend my tracking. Then I readjust, hit him, and then he eventually dies. So basically smoothness there. A lot of people would have said reactivity. I don't believe that's the issue in this case. I believe it's more of a smoothness. It's just a fine line. He was just running straight. It was just me not being able to determine when to stop and when to keep going smoothly. What I'm seeing here is a lot of pokeball, a lot of smoothness scenarios, and a lot of static, which is what I'm going to do from now on. Hopefully it'll improve. Cheers.